See, come on, wait a second. Don't you want that? I think we should get this for religious stuff. So we can go back and forth more easily. Oh, actually, we don't have one. All right. I need glasses. Hello, everyone. Not everyone's here yet? Uh-oh. Well, we have a bunch of folks that are here, and we're glad that you're here, and we're ready to start our service. We're going to have services all day long here in our very special circus tent. And really and truly, we are glad that you are here. Hopefully, everybody has a book, and we're going to start our service. The very first page will be on page 63. Page 63. As we enter this holy space today, we are thankful for a gift from God. On Yom Kippur, God gives us the gift of a second chance. Whether on purpose or accident this year, we have all made mistakes. We have hurt our parents and grandparents, our brothers and sisters, our friends and loved ones. Yom Kippur is a time to look back at our mistakes and learn from them. Today is our chance to tell God we are ready to change. Page 64 in the middle of the page.
מה טוב אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טוב אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. אני ברוב חסדך אבוא ביתך, אשתחווה אל היכל קודשך ביראתך. מה טוב אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טוב אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל.
Let's turn forward, page 69. And if you are a reader, I'm going to invite you to read along with me. I thank you for my life, body, and soul. Help me realize I am beautiful and whole. I'm perfect the way I am, and a little broken too. I will live each day as a gift I give to you. Baruch atah Adonai rofei chol basar umafli la'asot. Let's turn the page.
אלוהי נשמה שנתת bi, shenatata bi, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi, tehorahi, tehorahi, tehorahi. You created me, you shaped me, you breathed me into life. You created me, you shaped me, you breathed me into life. Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi, tehorahi, tehorahi, tehorahi.
Let's turn again, page 73. Every day holds the beauty and wonder of the first day of creation. The high holy days remind us that new beginnings are precious and powerful. On this day we begin our service with gratitude. We thank Adonai, the source of blessings, for the opportunity to start a new page of our individual stories. We will work with Adonai and one another to, and join with me, open our eyes and our hearts to new ideas. Bring freedom to all people. Stand strong and together against injustice. Celebrate the image of God found in every person. Give of ourselves to strengthen our communities. Empower all people by honoring their voices. We thank you, Adonai, for these opportunities to bring blessings into this world. We thank you, Adonai, for filling this moment with potential. Page 76, and we invite you to rise if you are able.
Yalilai, 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 yalilai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalilai, lai, lai. 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 Yalilai, lai, lai.
Let's turn again, page 79.
As the night gives way to day, a morning picture is painted across our sky. The sun comes up and the morning uncurls. A wonder we can't see, still wonder why. Still wonder why. God who makes the sunshine and the stars glow, you renew the cycle of creation day by day, giving light to our minds and our eyes, time after time, with the dawn of each new day. Each thing that God God creates. God renews each day with love and care. Through God's light we understand the plan and wonder of this world which we all share. Which we all share. God who makes the sun shine and the stars glow, you renew the cycle of creation day by day, giving light to our minds and our eyes, time after time with the dawn of each new day. God who makes the sun shine and the stars glow, you renew the cycle of creation day by day, giving light to our minds and our eyes, time after time with the dawn of each new day.
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. Page 81. God's love stretches from top to bottom. It stretches and grows and melds the beginning and end. God's love reaches from start to finish. It reaches and spreads, forgetting just where it began. God's love teaches. With stories and laws and rules and prayers, it teaches us best how to live. In love, we listen. We too can stretch. We too can reach. And we too can teach. As we seek the new year ahead, wrap us up in your peace like a great big talit. Hold us close with this prayer in your love. Baruch atah Adonai, abocher be'amo Yisrael, b'yahava. We turn the page.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. Let's turn to page 84.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We turn the page 86. We continue with Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא.
And on the very next page, page 87. During the holiest days of the year, we renew our promise to stand up for what is right. We will not stand with our feet frozen to the ground and our arms limp by our sides. We will not stay silent when our voice is needed. We will not hide. We will not walk away. When people are sad, we will comfort them. When people are mean, we will stop them. When someone is hungry, we will feed them. When someone is cold, we will find them shelter. When there are tears, we will dry them. And when there are hopes, we will support them. We know how slavery and sadness feel. We renew our promise this day to not stand idly by when others are suffering. We renew our promise this day to bring all people into our song of freedom. Let's turn again to page 91. Why are the High Holy Days all about standing and sitting? I get this question a lot, you know. When I was a child, it didn't make much sense to me. My teachers taught me that God was everywhere, so wouldn't God see me if I were sitting down too? Surely God, the one who I knew was there to watch over me, wouldn't want my legs to hurt me, would God? But as I grew older and life began to present more challenges to me, I came to depend on God more. As tough situations came into my life as a teenager, I was often seeking answers to questions that it seemed no one else could answer for me. And soon I realized that when I wanted those answers, I had to reach out and find hints from God in my life. I came to realize that perhaps God doesn't need us to stand up to pray, but perhaps we need to stand up to reach out and find God's presence in our lives. As we continue with Tefillah, or the section known as Amidah, or standing section of the prayer service, let us take a moment to think of times when we feel a need to stand just a little taller to find that connection with God. We continue on page 90, and we ask you to rise spiritually or physically and reach up and search for God's presence.
Adonai, sefatai tiftach, uvi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanara El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot Mevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Zochreinu lechaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chotveinu b'sefer hachaim, lemancha Elohim chaim, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah.
Page 96.
Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkelchem b'chesed, מחיי הכל, ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים, ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית, ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך על הרחמים, זוכה יצריו לחיים ברחמים. בנאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
You may be seated. We're continuing on page 101. God is like a parent watching over us. The Untitled of prayer says that our deeds are written down and that God reads them. God cares about what we do and the people we are trying to become. God sees us when we do our best and when we fall short. Your turn. When we try hard to be our best, God is proud of us, cheering us on. Sometimes scary things happen in the world, things that we cannot control, things that we don't understand. But there's a lot we can do to help others and start to heal the world. You have taught us that there are 3 important ways we can get through the difficult times and make things better. Teshuvah is turning back to God, turning back to doing what is right. We are not perfect. When we are not our best, God wants us to apologize to those we have hurt and try harder. Tefillah is prayer. When we feel sad or scared, we can talk to God. We can ask for wisdom and feel stronger. Tzedakah is doing what is fair, what is just. Sometimes we feel like the world is out of control, that the problems are very big, but we can do our part to help, to be partners with God and make the world a better place. Teshuvah, Tefillah, and Tzedakah are what we need to do to write a new page in God's book. The very top of page 100.
בראש השנה ייכתבו, וביום צום כיפור ייחתמו. בראש השנה ייכתבו, וביום צום כיפור ייחתמו.
On the top of page 103. Join with me. We thank you, God, for the year that has passed. We tried to do our best, but our best was not always good enough. At times we aimed too high and missed or forgot ourselves and did things we knew we should not do. We are sorry for our mistakes. A new year starts with this high, holy day season. Help us, O God, to do the best we can with the gifts you have given us. Help us to use our strengths and our talents to make the world a better place for all. And let's turn again to page 107. I always think that it is something so very special to be able to bless our children. Our children, no matter how young or how not as young they are. And certainly we get to bless and bring blessing to our adults in our lives too. So on page 107, if you are a parent, you're going to take your hands and put it on your child's kepi. This is a kepi. Put it on a kepi. If you need to spread, you can spread those arms. If you need to do a double with one hand, that's okay. Do the best you can. You can use your toes if you need to. Not really. And to the children I care for, parents, read along with me. May you be like Abraham and Sarah, who had the courage to believe in a God they could not see. May you be like Rebekah, who was kind to all, people and animals. May you be like Jacob, who understood that God would be found everywhere. May you be like Miriam, whose love made her a protector. May you be like Moses, who wasn't afraid to ask for help. May all of our prayers be sweet to you, God, and may this new year be a good one. Amen.
Amen.
Now, kids, children of all ages, take your hands and put it on your parents' head. Make nice. Very good. If you can read with me. If you're not a reader yet, you can just follow along with me. Just as you bless and keep me, I want you to know my blessing for you. May you always have patience for my silliness and teasing. May you always have hugs, both for giving and receiving. May you always feel pride when you see how I've grown. I'm lucky to love you. Be blessed with shalom. And now, even with your masks on, you're going to give your adults squeaky kisses. Even with the masks. You did great, everyone. This is our time for a little silent prayer. You can just think about something yourself that's important. Hope in a prayer. Reflect about peace and happiness. If you want to do some sharing with your parents, you can. Say what you hope for in this year, how you hope to be better, kinder, gentler, whatever it is. This is our time for our own personal prayers. Let's turn the bottom of page 113 with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו Amen.
Let us turn again to page 114. God is like a king, and God is like a queen. Avinu Malkeinu helps us compare God to things we understand. God is like all these things, and God is more than all of these things. We ask you to rise again if you're able. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, we have missed the mark before you. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and on our families. Avinu Malkeinu, help us bring an end to sickness, violence, and hunger. Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings. Avinu Malkeinu, help us write our names in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu va'anenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu va'anenu, ki ein banu mazin. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, ve'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu va'anenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu va'anenu, ki ein banu mazin. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, ve'hoshienu.
We are preparing to take the Torah out of the ark, 118.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato.
One of our most important prayers describing all of God's special qualities, Adonai Adonai el-Rachum v'chanun, erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, notzer chesed la'alafim, nosei avon v'afesha, v'chata'a v'nakeh. Adonai Adonai, God compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving, and true, showing mercy to the 1,000th generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, and granting pardon.
Adonai Adonai el rachum v'chanun, erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, notzer chesed la'alafim, nosei avon v'afesha v'chata'a v'nakeh. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'nora Shemo. Gadlu l'Adonai iti, uneromema shemo yachtav. Lecha Adonai hagedula, v'hagevura, v'hatiferet, v'hanetzach, v'hahod. Kicho bashamayim uvaretz, kicho bashamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'hamid nahaseh lecho lerosh.
May be seated. So, the Torah is out and amongst us. You have a little handout if you'd like to follow along and look at what the text is. There was a handout that's over here. We're going to share just a little bit of a little taste of the Torah. What we read is a little different than some other communities. In the Reformed Jewish community, all throughout the country, we've chosen a section from the reading of Deuteronomy. And it begins with, Atem nitzavim hayom. You're standing here today. And this idea of nitzavim, of that word for standing, it's not like standing around. There's a different word for that. Omed is like to stand around. Nitzavim is like standing with purpose. And so on a day like Yom Kippur, on a day that we come together under this tent where some of you are in the shade, when we think about where we've been and where we're going and who do we want to be, not what, but who, what kind of qualities do we want, how do we take care of ourselves, each other, in the world, this is a little bit about how do we think about how we're going to stand up and stand tall and stand straight and do good and take care of each other. Corey is here. He's going to be chanting the little bit of Torah with us. In fact, he's doing it all day today with us. 3 different times. Very special. It's very generous. He's going to be coming and sharing a little bit of the Torah, just a little taste of it, and you can follow along. But, you know, these are strange times, and I know that they are. And we've been jumping through all of these hoops to try and bring people together and to do it safely, as safe as possible. So I think for everybody, we all deserve to make this aliyah. So if you would like to join us, I will invite you to rise. You can follow the blessing. You can share in the blessings on page 121. Corey's going to come forward to help chant. But let's all do the Baruch Hu. Do I have a sheet? I do not. Let's all say the blessing, the bracha, together. It's been a while maybe since you've done this. Can you remember? Holly's going to help you.
Ready? Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Amvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Let's get the page for you. How you doing, Corey? Good. Let's just pull this up so she can follow along. I'm there. There we go. There we are. You see it? No. Right?
Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem rashechem shiftechem ziknechem veshotrechem kol ish Yisrael tapchem neshechem vegerecha asher bekerev machanecha, mechotei veitecha, ad shoev meimecha. Leovrecha bivrit Adonai Elohecha uvalato asher Adonai Elohecha koret imcha hayom leman hakimotcha hayom lo leam vehu yilecha lelohim kaasher diber lach וכאשר נשבע לאבותיך, לאברהם, ליצחק וליעקב, ולא איתכם לבדכם, אנוכי כורת את הברית הזאת ואת הלילה הזאת. כי את אשר ישנו פה עמנו עומד היום לפני אדוני אלוהינו, ואת אשר איננו פה עמנו היום.
Wonderful. Yasher koach. So, in the Jewish community, instead of clapping when somebody does a good job during services, we say Yasher koach. Ready? Awesome. Okay, my friends, let's do the closing blessing. Page 121.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. We're going to remain standing. Actually, you can sit for a moment. While the Torah is out, let's turn to page 123. Continue with a prayer for healing. Healing of body and a healing of soul. This is our time to think about friends, loved ones, and the truth is to also be generous and think about people all around the world who are in the midst of pain and challenges and illness. If you would like to call out a name, you'd like to lift up a name in this prayer, we hope that you would. So call them out. You can think about and share names out loud of people in your circle who can use a little love and prayer and strength from us. Page 123.
Misheverach avotenu mekor bracha leivotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheverach imotenu mekor bracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
We prepare the Torah again, 124, and we rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים.
על שלושה דברים.
העולם עומד.
Page 132.
יצחיימי למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיך שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
Let's turn again. 136. This next prayer is another prayer where we stand because it's something that is about all of us. The Yashamnu is part of our confessions on Yom Kippur. In other words, it's the things that we say in order to say we're sorry. But we also take responsibility for one another. It's not just the things that I might have done. It's for everybody in our community. Somebody might have done something, but we're going to try and come together as one because nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, and we're all going to try this year to help us be just a little better. 136.
Ashamnu,
Ashamnu,
Bagadnu,
Bagadnu,
Gazalnu,
Gazalnu,
Dibarnu Dofi,
Dibarnu Dofi,
I did I die die, ya die 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 die, ya die 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 die, Havinu,
Hevinu,
Vehirshanu,
Vehirshanu,
Zadnu,
Zadnu,
Hamasnu,
Hamasnu,
Tafalnu Shaker,
Tafalnu Shakir,
I did I die die, ya die 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 die, ya die 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 die, Yatsnura,
Yatsnura,
Kizavnu,
Kizavnu,
Latsnu,
Latsnu,
Maradnu,
Maradnu,
Niatsnu,
Niatsnu,
I did I die die, ya die 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 die, Yai dai 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 dai. Sarvarnu.
Sararnu.
Avinu.
Avinu.
Pashanu.
Pashanu.
Tsararnu.
Sararnu.
Kishinu Oref.
Kishinu Oref.
I da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Rashanu.
Rashanu.
Shichadnu.
Shichatnu.
Tiavnu.
Tiavnu.
Tainu.
Tainu.
Titanu.
Titanu.
I da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai.
Let's turn the page 138. You may be seated. You know, when we make all of these taps on our hearts for each of those words, or even for this next line, it's always about waking up our hearts, trying to open them up, being ready to take in love and to be a little kinder. It's just to wake us up a little bit where we feel the most. On 138, Al chet shechatanu lefanacha, for all these wrongs, O God, we ask your forgiveness for the wrong that we have committed before you with a confused heart, for the wrong that we have committed before you by lying, for the wrong that we have committed before you by making excuses, for the wrong that we have committed before you without meaning to do so, for the wrong we have committed before you by being unkind to others.
Al kulam elas lichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu ve'al kulam elas lichot selach lanu mechal lanu kapelanu.
The very next page. Sometimes we miss the mark, or we don't try our best. Sometimes we miss the mark on purpose, and sometimes by accident. Sometimes we miss the mark by not caring, and sometimes by being mean. Sometimes we miss the mark by acting like we're better than others, and sometimes by not listening. Sometimes we miss the mark by telling lies, and sometimes by hurting people's feelings. Sometimes we miss the mark by being selfish, and sometimes by losing our temper. God, none of us is perfect. We remember the times we've missed the mark, so that the next time we can do better. Forgive us and help us to try harder. Help us to learn from our mistakes. Help us to be the best people we can be. Let me share a little something with you. So just a quick little story. A quick little story. This is one of my most favorite of stories. So for 40 days and 40 nights is a theme that's in lots of different Jewish stories. 40 just means a lot. Well, for 40 days and for 40 nights, there was no rain that fell in a town called Plotchnik. Can you say Plotchnik? It's one of my favorite words, a favorite story with a favorite words. Every green thing that was in Plotchnik turned brown. There was a dry wind that went out and rattled all of the branches in the town. Thirsty cows stopped giving milk. Fish circled shallow, little, muddy puddles that once was a deep and nice cold lake. And in the synagogue in Plotchnik, the rabbi would pray, Master of the universe, please give us rain. And there wasn't a drop, not a single drop. The town's wealthiest and most powerful member prayed the same prayer, Master of the universe, please give us some rain. There wasn't even a trickle. The teachers, the doctors, the lawyer, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, they all came to the synagogue and they prayed and prayed, Master of the universe, please give us some rain. There wasn't even a cloud in the sky. Maybe I should pray, somebody called out with a really gentle voice from the very back of the synagogue. It was Shmuel. Shmuel the shoemaker. Shmuel the shoemaker. Say that 10 times fast. Yeah, you can't do it either. Shmuel the shoemaker. Shmuel, sometimes when he wasn't around and he wasn't paying attention, other people would call him Poor Shmuel. Because people thought that Shmuel wasn't so smart. They talked about him behind his back. They